My team, the Asylum. Last episode, we took in a bit of a stray Miss Yaping, who we were considering as a possible new member. Now, if I take Yaping, I can't pull anybody else because Yaping puts me at 9 community members, and 9 is the hard stop for using the summon a new character. We have 73 minutes on our cooldown, so that's an hour and 13 minutes for our recruit legacy survivor to even call somebody in. So we have an hour and 13 minutes to let Yaping heal up from her injuries and see if she is decent or if we want to pull our 9th and final member and just tell Yaping, yeah, thank you very much. If you guys missed out on every episode of the Asylum up to this point, I'm going to quickly run through my characters, what they do, who they are, and that good stuff. I would encourage you to check out at least the first episode of the Asylum. It's live now on YouTube and on Twitch, just because I go into a lot more detail about how my community works, how they work together, and how all these characters come in to make a community, not just a bunch of ragtag characters, but I will try to give you the brief version now. Starting at the top of my pyramid, we have Hannah, our leader and only current permanent trader. So in my group, we've got our leader who's a trader. She has 3 lieutenants. The first lieutenant is Farhat. He leads her warlord division, and he is responsible for handling freaks, blood plague hearts, hostile enclaves, and hordes. That's what my warlords do as like a bubble. Lieutenant 2 is Gage. He leads the builders, and he's responsible for generalized scavenging and specific scavenging. And our final lieutenant is Beeper, who is responsible for missions and scouting. That's what falls under the sheriff umbrella for Beeper. Farhat has people under him. All of our lieutenants do, but he has the most with 3 underlings. Currently in the Asylum, we only have 2 of his underlings available. The first is Kawa, and Kawa is designated the sniper, meaning that he takes out freaks and hordes. He does both, because freaks are pretty much, it's one shot, one kill for bloaters, screamers, and ferals. But juggernauts do take a little bit more time, but Kawa spends most of his time pushing back hordes. He's a blood plague survivor, so even when the hordes become blood plagued and when the freaks become blood plagued, he'll still be able to do his job without having to call upon anybody else to help him. The other person that currently falls under Farhat is Victoria, and she handles specifically infestations through Molotovation. Alright, she throws Molotovs and takes care of them that way. Lieutenant 2, Gage, has 1 underling, Meadow. Please excuse the car over revving outside. Meadow, and she is a runner. She recovers specific. She goes to specific locations for either like rucksacks or an item we need or a vehicle. That's Meadow's thing. Heaven forbid somebody were to pass away, Meadow would be the one tasked to go in, take out the zombie, and recover the gear, and bring it home. And lastly, Beeper does have an underling, Alligator. She handles specifically the scouting portion of the sheriff domain. I didn't cover my leaders, my apologies. Farhat handles the hearts by himself. He doesn't ask anyone else. He's also a blood plague survivor, so he handles the hearts, taking only normal damage by doing so. Gage does our general scouting, and then Beeper handles our mission running. So that's everybody in the community and what they do. Obviously, our leaders are our only traders, so I let her control the economy, what we spend money on, how we spend money on, where we spend money on. So we got a fresh Juggernaut up, so we're going to have our sniper just not even waste time. He's going to go pick up some bombs, and we're going to go out and tank that Juggernaut in the face. We're waiting on our lady to heal up so we can see what she does. Figure out whether she goes in the exile pile or whether she's going to go in the... send her to the to the deck pile for, like, future exploration. We have quite a few people on reserve, even with me pulling people into this game. If you guys, again, have not met the Asylum and don't know their goal is to open this gate, apparently. It's like the hardest thing to open and close this gate. He opened it 7 times in his face. Their overall goal is to have 4 or more active communities that they have spawned to save humanity. So that's what they're doing. I'm going to pop that bloater so we don't have to deal with that bloater and the Juggernaut. And then we're going to focus on securing an easy dub against the Juggernaut. Easy dub, throw explosive at him. Take the extra explosive damage from the bloater. 2. 3. Okay, we managed to get it with 3 this time because of the bloater. Hopefully we don't get gas taking down this jug. When you throw an explosive, I wonder if that clears the gas. And then we've got a few extra Zeds that came in the area looking for a taste because they heard the Juggernaut get clapped. Now we're just gonna do a little cleanup. Alright, little cleanup. There you go. Nice. Nice and spicy, Mr. Sniper. Just how we like it. And then just take him back home, and he's still got 3 pipe bombs on him, which will give him a good setup for any fight in the future. I did get a question last time, a private question, asking like what everybody's gear is. So as I pull them out, I'll just answer that question. Kua is running a combat knife as his close combat weapon. He carries a noodle knife for his melee, because it's only 1 pound, it's super lightweight. He's got the ultra lightweight pack in beige color. His sidearm is the revolver classed Viper. And his main weapon is the Prepper's 1022, just because it holds 50 rounds and it's pretty awesome. And typically my man just rocks some pipe bombs for easy Juggernaut disposal. So that's what Kua's rocking. That's why I call him Sniper Man, because he's got, kind of a sniper setup. If you guys haven't met him before, he rocks a Marathon Stealth Endurance Gunslinging build. Someday I hope to change Endurance, probably for swordplay. And he does have the 5th skill of Chemistry, spec'd into munitions, which I just thought went along with him being a sniper. Alright. Yingping has recovered from her injury, so we're going to go ahead and pull her out. We'll take her inside, get her healed up the rest of the way with some bandages, and dump off her stuff so she can be running ultralight while we get this next party going. We just want to see what her citizenship or hero status bonus would be. And you have to get citizen status with that. Right now she's at recruit. It's pretty easy to get there. You just gotta do something. So we're gonna put all her stuff away. She can keep her close combat knife. And we're gonna give her probably the wooden bat back. And I can give her a handgun. So that will at least give her some bullets in case she gets run up on it and needs to do damage quick. And then we're gonna send her out into the area and just see what she's going to do. She actually has a special backpack. She's using the ultralight military backpack, which is a 0.1 pounder. And it actually comes in camo, which is a color that you don't really see the ultralight in too many times. So for her in this main first area, I've already taken out the heart that was controlling this area. So we can't really have her do a heart. But we can have her just run around and see if we can't figure something out. Oh, I didn't heal her up. Silly cat, I was about to send her into war, like, a good portion down. I don't think that's fair. Yeah, let's make some noise, though. Noise is actually a good thing, because maybe it'll generate some work to do. Had I thought about it, I might have left that bloater alone for her to at least get a little something there. Let's go ahead and let's try a bandage. We have a buff in our community for extra efficiency, so that 1 bandage was enough. Normally bandages are not that great, but I think the buff is something like 25% better item efficiency when it's a healing item. And that's, I think it's Victoria, because she's our one of our warlords, but also does medicine on the side. So she was like a nurse in her past life. So she brings in a really cool buff. part of the reason she's part of my permanent team. I actually have had a hard time rolling that. It's a pretty rare buff in my opinion, so just gonna generally head out, see what we can get up to in Franklin Valley. Well, she was pretty close on cardio anyway. Seeing that she's a trader, we're probably going to try to go with backpacking. Alright, sweet. You got backpacking. Nice. We'll install that. And then there's some Zeds to beat on down here. Let's go ahead and beat on them. You can get some reputation in the community by just taking out zombies. Because if you think about it, the main bread and butter in Apocalypse would be survival. And outside of eating and having clean water, removing the threat of zombies and hostile enclaves kind of makes sense, because you wouldn't really want a bunch of Zeds walking around. The more zombies you wreck, the safer the area is. Just like in general, unless you're like Walking Dead style and there's like 8 billion Zeds, and you wrecking a zombie or two really doesn't matter in that case as much. I think, in this world it's a little bit more just a way of life. It'd be like if the world became overrun with wolves. You might not be able to take out every wolf, but certainly fighting back when you can would be acceptable. Hello, can you come over here? I haven't gotten any pings yet, not a single one, but maybe we'll get like a nearby mission or something. Sometimes those proc, and those can also give a lot of standing in the community. The main ways I know how to do it would be taking out hearts, completing missions, and fighting freaks. We got her fighting up as well. She's being offered endurance, which would give her more health, or close combat. I just don't like endurance, so I'm gonna take close combat. That will at least let her make those grabs a little easier. I know she's a trader, but being a trader doesn't disqualify you from doing damage. So I guess if you guys are new here, while I'm running around and kind of explain what I meant by my community operates a little bit differently. Okay, she got some standing from that one. You saw she got a chunk. So it does give a little bit of a chunk. Once you hit citizenship, it's like less of a chunk. They give you a lot to try to get these people up. So, especially in green. We are playing in green. I know. Boo, badoody doo. I know it's green. But I'm trying to get my community situated first. Oh my gosh, this whole field is zombies. Oh. I'll explain my community in just a second, guys. A little busy. All of a sudden. Paws are needed in action. Somebody brought in a sighted M4. That's pretty cool. Did you get any more from that? No. But you survived. So important. So in my community, depending on which leadership style your character selects for themselves. Because if you don't know, each character comes with a leadership style. It's not something you're rolling. It's not something you're changing. When the character is generated, they generate with a leadership style. There's 4 current leadership styles in the game. There's Warlord, Trader, Builder, and Sheriff. Those are the 4 leadership styles that can be randomly generated or randomly assigned. Just securing some areas. In my community, depending on which your character has been assigned, kind of gives them a role in my community. If you come in as, like, Ye here is a trader. Traders in my community are responsible for meeting with wandering merchants, buying and selling goods, and making economic decisions on my community's behalf. So those are all of the tasks that I've assigned to the trader leadership style. Whoever is in charge, whether in my hierarchy they're a lieutenant or a leader, is in charge of picking which one they want to do and assigning whoever else I get to do the rest. Give me just a second, crafters. Sorry, guys. Management had some questions. All right, so that's trader. Builder is like searching and recovering, is what I've assigned to the builder leadership style. I don't know how we got there. That's just what I decided were tasks that the builders, their mission statement, seemed to naturally lead to. For the sheriffs, I assigned them scouting, and I also gave them doing missions just because I felt like their mission statement leaned more towards that. And finally, the last leadership style is warlord, and I've assigned them 4 tasks: taking out hordes, taking out freaks, taking out hostile enclaves, and taking out the all-important blood plague. She got another chunk. We're doing that now. Give me a second. Alright, crafters. Sorry, management's just updating me. But yeah, that's how I break down my character and what they're going to be doing in my community. Awesome, we got a mission. Let's go do that mission. It's close by, and it will give her, in my opinion, it gives a little bit more than just walking around and taking care of business. So we're going to go ahead and do the survivor need. We need to talk to Ellie. Alright, fair enough. Let's go locate and speak to Miss Ellie. She's in the solar farm. Hey, Ellie, what's going on? I've been trying to find my daughter since we got separated escaping a refugee camp. I've tracked her this far, but I could really use some help. I'm like, I don't have a car, but sure, we can figure it out. It's like 600 meters. Okay, well, luckily we have legs. Maybe we can find a vehicle along the way. I'm not going back to camp to pick up one of my cars. So let's get it done. We're going to do 500-meter push. Typically this mission is just get them to wherever the person is. Very rarely they offer to join you, but that's like a very rare outcome. Mainly they just want to get to where their child is, whether it's a son or daughter. And they want to find out their fate. Sometimes fate's with them and it's a good fate. Sometimes fate is against them and it's a bad fate. You will not know until you get to the location. Ooh, that's a significant drop. And murking zombies along the way is also positive because, like I said, every cluster of zombies, which is random, by the way, management and I have measured it, and it seems like sometimes it's you kill 5 zombies and you get the bump, and sometimes you kill hundreds of zombies, it feels like, and you can't manage to get the bump. So I can't tell you exactly how many Zeds you gotta murk. Just know that murking a set number of basic Zeds will provide you with some community progress. It's not my favorite way. I would prefer to do missions or play cards or whatever the case is. Easiest way I found is to run a bunch of freaks. But she's not really geared for that outside of a bunch of like bloaters or screamers. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the mission, and hopefully we can get a decent cut from this mission. That would be my hopes.
I do not want to know what makes plague territory smell this bad.
And we're here.
Alright, we've arrived at location. There's actually a bloater in the area. Alright, we're gonna hit the bloater and get some recruits standing. That bloater almost did it. So that means that puts this mission right in the sweet spot. We do this mission and we'll at least get the information we need. I see somebody on the roof. Are you on the roof? Please tell me you're on the roof. No, there's zombies on the roof. Alright. Let's get rid of these Zeds. Take care of those Zeds. We can help out from up here if we could actually hit. Come on, hit. I'll just mag dump. There you go. Okay, alright. We managed to get him off of her. Took all of our bullets, but it said our objective is to keep Ellie alive. She's absolutely going ham. She wants to find her child. And it's a good outcome. She's laughing because her child is alive.
Thank you for that.
Let's talk to Ellie.
You were
She
just
says,
in
I owe you
time.
everything for helping me get back to Ashley. Here, it isn't much, but take this. She gave me a mechanics textbook, 100 influence, and I believe enough, yep, to get to citizen. So Yang Ping is offering us +2 labor as a trader with the engineering skill. I think I'm gonna have to pass. +2 labor just could be combined with a whole heck of other things that I would like more, unfortunately. But I am gonna have her run over there and see if she can't get us, since we're over here. Can you get us an outpost over here so that we can use my warlord to continue taking care of business? Because if I can get Farhad down here, I can clear this corner of hearts. Shame, Yangpin. Shame. Yeah, well, the objective is to keep Ellie alive. She got surrounded because I went up top, so I made the decision to just mag dump to kind of save her. Well, it only counts for the timer if you go to mine. Oh. Alright, clean that up. Keep going. It's a shame, man. I kind of liked your style. I could show you her card. Just, I didn't think it was that dang interesting. I'll show it to you, but I'm gonna secure this location. Benjamin says she just wants to see Yang Pen. That's fair. Yang P, whatever her name is.
Why can't everywhere be this quiet?
I would probably just call her Yay. Alright, can we take this place? Yep, 200 bucks. Let's go.
Guys.
Done.
You can thank me later.
Paid. Yeah, Yapin. Okay, Yapin is here. Management, this is her card. She's a trader with a labor bonus, and she went into engineering, which is the other half of auto mechanic. And she's got a couple of things, but nothing that really, like, jumps out at you. Engineering, I don't know what it does at the top end, but it allows you to craft advanced muscle attachments and homemade scoped crossbows. Alright. Management said she should get upped. Fun fact, they actually gave her a copy of the mechanics textbook as the payment for saving the daughter. So if you want to see what it does, I can fully up it. But if it is not amazing, like, I'm still going to scrap her. Because right now she's blocking the last member of the team from coming in. And I don't know, do I have another textbook? Because I might just send her to the gulag for a bit and put her on ice. And then once we get engineering full, I can make a better decision. So, but right now, I need Farhad. Farhad, buddy, time to go to work. Alright, crafters. Our plan now that we've gotten to this corner is to remove the 2 hearts that are in this corner so that we will have, like, a better, a safer town.
Exactly what I was hoping for.
Essentially. So, let's go ahead and clean up and all that good stuff. I know I said I was going to get rid of Yay, but she makes a good point that we have never seen the top end of engineering, and we could at least find out what it does. Even if I don't keep her, it still at least tells me what's up. So she can keep that book and take it with her. And if I find any more, then we can get those to her. Somehow. Or I can take her to one of my camp sessions, which we might do. We could do that next time, which would show you guys how I set up camp. Camps for me are like training sessions for people that are not mains. So it lets them essentially build their skills without taking time away from the community. That actually might be what Trumbull Valley turns into for me, is just an open map where I can train people that I want to see what they do without interfering with one of my main communities. Alright, we need to take out that heart over there. What you got for me? Yeah, I was right. The double bit axe is 10 pounds. Oh, it's the same weight. Well, instead of the dusty, rusty shovel, we'll give him a double bit axe just for, I don't know. He's had that shovel forever. Management's tired of looking at it, so we'll give him a double bit axe instead. It's the same weight. Do we have any bullets? We do. Let's take those. Do we have explosives? We do. Do we have any big fire bombs? We do. Stamina items. Let's take 3 of those, and then we'll take some bandages, and we'll call that a set. We'll call that a wrap. Let's get you reloaded, and then we're gonna go casually tap out the hearts. This is gonna be a little bit of a journey, but Farhat's pretty built. If we could find a car, that would be great, Farhat. Well, great for you. I don't really care. Find a car, don't find a car. I don't care. Neither does management. It's just, it would be better on your body if you find yourself a vehicle, sir. You're supposed to dodge that, but you didn't. It's okay. Hoping there will just be a truck parked over here. Sometimes, very randomly, like if you run through a location, you can find vehicles. That's a feral. Where you at, bud? Where you at, bud? Oh, you got another wish. Just let me find the feral before it jumps on my face, and I'll be happy. I'll let you know if I'm like not being feral. If he screamed, I just don't have any idea where he is because he didn't ping on the map or anything. I heard him scream. I know that scream. Like, yeah, that scream is not one that like you would forget once you hear it. On my way. I'm not seeing a feral. Can I get up here? Can I get somewhere to stand for like a second? And go over here. Oh, this is a base. This might be a good place to just vibe for a second so management can do her Genshin pull and I can watch. Okay, I'm in a safe-ish location for a second. Alright, management, do your pull. Guys, we're watching management's pull on Genshin. I know you can't see it, but I'll tell you if it's good. It's coming down blue. It's trash, guys. It's trash. She did get a Goro earlier, though. Alright, we're continuing.
I just found the best
100
potential
meters.
outpost in town.
Farhat, I don't even know what outpost you passed that you're saying is the best, sir. Just trying to conserve my 99 bullets for ferals and for taking care of the heart. I know warlords have this reputation of they murder everything all the time. The truth is, my warlords try to think what they need to be done. And what he needs to get done is move that. We don't want that bloater laying there. He needs to get this party started. Go ahead and crouch so he'll get his stamina, and then I believe it's in this office on the left with this build. Yep, it is. So what we can do is... It's a good area for explosives. We'll go ahead and give him, serve up a grenade. And then also burn the heart a little bit once it explodes. Put a little bit of fire because I can leave that room. And then one more flame. And we don't have to deal with this one.
Real bad. I don't know how we bounce back from this.
Alright, sweet. We cleared that out. Nice. We'll take the first aid kit, which is the first aid kit we found. Some extra snacks, and we'll leave the rest of the stuff to get scooped up later. And we'll go over there. We'll just clean up these samples on the way out. A horde of 2? A horde of 2? Okay. Day 6, everyone. Horde of 2 resolved. About a 400 meter push, but like I said, Farhat's now got snacks. We'll use the snacks. They're just, I don't want to use the monsters for anything other than fighting right now, but I can definitely hit him with some snacks while he's running. You know, I've given him a pretty heavy load. Between his gun and the axe, like, that's like all he's got. Guess I might have to go around. Oh well. I see, that's a horde. That's like a gaggle of zombies. A horde to me is not like 2 dang zombaritos. That's a vehicle. Does it have gas? Question 2. Do you contain gasolina? You're actually pretty far for the base. And also, do you have space? You have an 8, but the ambulance is a 6 now? Okay, you've got a little bit of gas. Okay, so I've got to find you some gas. It's not the worst thing we have to do. Let's go ahead and drive over there. We've definitely got enough gas to make the 200-meter push.
As long as that plague heart is nearby, this place won't ever feel safe.
Okay, I need to go out to the road. I wonder if there's a station over here that I can pick up some gas from. It's got like a quarter tank or less. Not really going to be the best to try to push home, but this is early state of decay too, so there will be gas somewhere. I just gotta find said gasoline. Some creators say that you should always have a gas can on you. I just don't see putting that weight on my characters just to go run out the route. I do a lot of running around, but that's because we're on green. Once we pass green, I'm not going to be doing that. But during green, we're supposed to be collecting vehicles. 4 vehicles to be specific. I've got one of our vehicles. Well, we've got 2 of them. We've got a cargo van, which is locked in for the builders, and we've got a Jeep, which I think is probably going to go to the sheriffs. I would like to get a roadster for the warlords, and for the trader, I think she would take literally anything that was nice. So, I was thinking maybe an 8-slot sedan would be the T there. Hi. It says the heart's here. Where's the heart? Hello? Where's the stinky heart? In this bathroom. Good thing I used the explosives on the other one. Solid hit. Solid hit, nice. Let it puff up. Of course, I'm out doing something and somebody wants to come to my house. That's about right. Just picking up these samples. And then we're going to finish working on this heart. We've staged 1'd it. We need 2 more stages. So let's get back in here and finish cleanup. You'll always get slapped if you're doing that. So just be ready for the double bolt. I think that was everybody that was in here, unless somebody's hiding.
Screamer. This could get noisy. Damaged. We've got to keep that.
Next stage. Nice. Take out the screamer because we don't want that drama llama. That's why we carry a big stick and a big weapon. Start to get overwhelmed, take care of business. Clean up. Go back in there to finish the heart off. Fully prog it. Swing through. And we're done. Again, this is on green, so it's a little bit easier. We managed to pull a can of gas out of there, which is ridiculous.
For ourselves.
We'll take the samples and probably grab the bullets out of there. Thank you, Mr. Hart. Have a good day. Now we're gas up our car and drive home.
Zedtalk has a job that needs doing. You interested? We're short on time on this one.
Alright, there's the gas, and then we just choose our base and drive home. This won't be a forever van, but we can use it for now on this map to just hold any extra rocks we come across that we don't want to break right away. Oh, that's where the feral is hiding. Somewhere over here. He just had to slap us. Fair enough. $50 in my pocket. I love how I put a blanket on the dog as a joke, and he's just absolutely comfortable. Since I put the blanket on him, like, over, I'd say like 3 hours now, the dog has not moved. Anubis is just very comfortable, apparently. And he's been passed out, too, Crafter. He's been having puppy dreams. I wish I could sleep like that. I wish I could just close my eyes and just let the world melt away. And you could argue, Kitty Crafter, surely you sleep at night. And I'm like, yeah. At some point, I do a thing that looks like sleeping. But I wouldn't say, like, I'm just, like, relaxing. I wouldn't use that as a word to describe my dreams. I would use chaotic, strong emotional. Like the other night, I had a dream where I was in a grocery store and I couldn't find the right whatever it was I was looking for. Management had sent me with a list and I couldn't find one of the items, and I was having an absolute meltdown in my dream because, like, I think it was like SpaghettiOs, and I couldn't find them, and I was trying to call her and I couldn't get a hold of her, and I was losing my mind because, like, management kind of doesn't like substitutions. I say kind of because, like, there's like a category in management's brain where substitutions are okay, and then there's other categories of groceries she buys where it's like, you're not subbing this. And for whatever reason, this item on the list, whatever it was, SpaghettiOs or whatever the heck it was an item that management was like, no, I have to have this item. So I was having a freak out session. So I wouldn't call that, like, necessarily, like, relaxing and calming style of sleep, just as an example. And of course, I get home, and as soon as I get home, like, there's a zombie threat at home. And I'm like, okay, that's 200 free bucks, dude. Like, who are you playing? I don't know. Would you like to deal with 60 seconds of zombies for 200 bucks? I mean, given that you had the gear for the apocalypse. Alright, crafters, we're gonna make that a question. 60 seconds of zombies. No freaks. No blood plague zombie. Well, maybe some zombies will have blood plague. But 60 seconds. But we're gonna give you apocalypse style gear. Everything that you can get in State of Decay that you can find, you could have the opportunity to have. Okay? You can have guns and melee weapons, and you have a team. It's not just you.
Is this ever gonna end?
Would you take it? Management says, yeah, for 200 bucks, bring 1 minute of zombies every once in a while. Just randomly, just 60 seconds of the zombs, and she'll take the $200 payout.
If you go down, take 10
I say, honestly, I'm a chonky cat, so I don't care what team you assign me. I don't think I'm gonna make it, so I would decline random attacks of zombies on my position, unless you're gonna give me, like, Navy SEALs as teammates. But if you're just gonna give me, like, Adam and Steve from the corner store, I don't know if they can pull me a $200 win, Rooney. So I mean, you gotta look at the community I'm in. I'm not trusting to like have my back. If I was in Texas, throw waves of zombies at me, bro. There's got to be somebody within like a 10-mile radius that has been shooting their whole life. Where I'm at, I don't know if they could swing it, dude.
Seriously, I'm the
All right, we also have
team.
Abigail here, who says, seriously, I'm the perfect addition to any team. Abigail, before you claim that, let's take a look. You are an outsider with possibility of 2 traits, and you're claiming that you bring people skills to the game. Farhat's not going to like that. Let's grab Hannah and see if Hannah wants to add this young lady into the squad. She also has to send the other one to the gulag, because I don't know what else to call it. The card deck sounds stupid, so we're going to call it the gulag.
As it turns out, I get yourself.
Alright, Abigail, get in here. Hannah says you get a shot.
Great.
Alright, management, we got a new card to look at. Here she is, our recruit, Abigail. Human resources and slept in a tree. Human resources means she actually levels up less quickly, but she'll avoid getting into conflicts. And slept in a tree, which I remember being a bed before, is like morale bonus from outdoor bed facilities. She's bringing in 10% influence gain, 100% standing rewards, and knowledge of influence, but with her 50% standing reward buff, that would mean she's actually only bringing in 50% standing rewards. She'll level up like 50% quicker than the average card, and she'll bring in 10% influence, but only on certain things. Management says no, get her out of here, and she's a sheriff. Okay, so we're going to tell her thank you, but no thank you. But I will take all your junk, though. And then you have a good day.
I hope you can forgive me for this. I have to ask you to leave.
I'll be good on my own. I'll be fucking great.
Okay, didn't go the worst. Hannah got her out of here. Boom. Not gonna feed her. Can't feed everybody, guys. And then we're also gonna approach the other lady and tell her she needs to go to our training camp where we can take better care of her skills, and she can honestly keep the pistol. I'm not gonna be heartbroken over a pistol, so I don't think it has any bullets in it right now anyway, so go ahead and
A friendly face.
I do want your backpack. Like, don't take this personally, but I'm taking the backpack.
Hey, you're not dead.
You'll be able to find another backpack somewhere else. Have a good one. Get out of here. I don't want to feed you right now. And how are we doing on setup? We still have a 31-minute timer, so we're going to have to stream for a minimum of 31 more minutes. It's about 15 more minutes than I was thinking, but we're going to do it. We'll get our last member in, so I got to find 30 minutes of content. Fair enough. I see a freak nearby, so we're going to grab our sniper and mop that freak up. And then we're going to take a look at materials, where we're at, what we want, where we would like to go to. This is going to be our base for the remainder of this
Don't breathe that shit.
level. So with him whopping out the 2 play cards, we now have 1 play card in the right corner and then 3 on the left side. And the 3 are pretty easy to get to the base, and once we clean those up, it will be a new time, new place. So we just need to see what my team really needs to do. I know we need bullets. So we're going to go over and grab Mr. Gage, and he's going to be sent out to do some runs once I figure out what runs we really need to engage in.
Hey, if you're bored, I got something for you.
Mysterious Wandering Trader. Okay, if we end up there in the next 4 hours, I'll think about it. But I'm not going to, like, purposely go up there. Alright. We got 8 people, 8 labor, and we have 3 more beds. So, we're doing pretty good. Management's got another pool. Let's watch the pool. Alright. Is the pool going to be good, guys? Crafters, lend her your energy. Give her something good. She wants a yellow. Let's do it. Yellow energy for the crafters. Can we get that for you, management? No, we sent her trash, crafters. Our apologies, management. We sent you our energy and our effort, and we got you trash, Panda. Our apologies, though. Alright, so all we need to do is go through. Now that we have a chemist, we can go ahead and boost our still. and get the ability to make a profit on this map. So we're going to start with that. That needs 5 minutes. Well, I got to do 30 minutes of content, so that'll be done before I leave. We're going to mod our garden if we can with 10 max health for all our survivors. That sounds sweet to me. We have a kitchen mod. We've got a couple of them. I think out of all my kitchen mods, Make It Espresso sounds pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and... We got 4 more labor to play with. Could we mod our workbench? We sure can. I think 9mm rounds are pretty common. So I'm going to mod it with that. We're going to mod our infirmary with infection recovery rate. Still got 2 labor we can play with. But I think we're out of places to mod unless there's one. But you know what? We'll just put the airtight containers on the trade depot just to get a couple extra spacers on the food, because our garden is pulling in a ton of extra food and we're trying to make it. So we went ahead and modded everything we could mod. Now let's take a look at where we're at. Food. We're cranking 3 food every time a day card drops. We have almost no room, so we need to use food resources, not get any more. Meds, we're pretty high, but we don't have a pool on meds, so we're pretty much just got them stored to store them. Pretty high on the bullets, and we actually have a pool on the bullets right now that we need an ammo supply chain to break. Materials, there is a pool of materials, but we've answered it with a workshop. Fuel's just vibing and it's very high. So what we need a ruck of materials, and we need an ammo outpost. Those are our 2 goals right now. Alright, Gage, you need to find us an ammo outpost and a ruck of materials. The ruck of materials sounds a little bit easier than finding an ammo outpost, but we shall see. There's a city right next to us. Okay, Dewey's Hardware is definitely going to have at least 1 ruck of materials. Okay, if our cars don't. And then I found it. Alright, there's a police department. We're going to take that police department. That will give us the ammo we need. Mods are coming on in. Alright, let's head out. First, we're going to check our vehicles, though, and see if we've already got a ruck of materials. That might be an easy thing to do. I didn't even think about that. I was like, we have to go get a ruck. Well, we could just walk outside and end up finding a ruck that we haven't put in yet. So let's see if we've got any backup materials before we go and spend a quest for materials. We're going to start with the DeWitt handyman, but I'm pretty sure I cleared him out. Yeah, he's empty, so our storage van is empty. Alright, we're going to go through our 2 transport vehicles and see if either one of them needs to. Yeah, we've actually got a ruck of materials, so we're going to go ahead and put that in. And we're going to go store this medicine in our handy van. Well, actually in a second. 'Cause I'll drive that. What was the other thing I said I had some room on? Was it just the materials? So food, I can't get any higher on. I buffed it a little bit just so that if another day card drops and I'm not paying attention, we're good. Meds are top notch. Ammo's situated. Materials are now situated. Okay, actually I've got everything kind of maxed. So this is kind of already at its max. What we could do is take this Jeep and go empty it into our storage facility over here. So we're just gonna back up. That's how I use my vehicles anyways, guys. You could use your vehicles however you want to use your vehicles. This is what I do. Since we're in my game, that's why we're going over it. Gonna put the meds away and the record materials in there. I've got quite a few bags as it is. So now I'm gonna head over to this police station to kind of stop the watchtower from draining our ammo. Even it out. That our whole game with the base management is just making sure that we're keeping enough resources on hand and we're managing any drains on our resources adequately. It's really not hard once you get going. It's just simple addition and subtraction. But it took me a while to figure out my own spice. I used to be a person that I needed 1 outpost per resource, and now I figured out there are ways at your base and there are ways to use your characters to kind of offset costs and things like that to make your life a little bit easier. I don't have any good tutorials on it, but there are a lot of great tutorials on YouTube I found when I was trying to figure out what I wanted for my community. Please excuse the helicopter. That I would recommend just going to YouTube in whatever category you're personally struggling with. I can almost guarantee you one of the big creators has a video, and they're definitely, almost any of the big creators are really good when it comes to State of Decay, because they've played a long time and they know a lot of stuff. That's where I got a lot of my State of Decay knowledge. So if none of my videos help you, I would suggest just go to YouTube, type in State of Decay, and then whatever issue you're having, and I'm almost certain some creator has put out a tutorial or a video addressing, you know, more to your needs. Now, if you have a question, feel free to ask me. I might know. You can drop in the chat, the comments. If you're a little bit more shy, you can email it to me at kittycraft0220@gmail.com. Whatever you need to do to get that question answered. Again, I might know the answer, I might not. If I don't, I will tell you that. And in the case of emailing me, if I don't know the answer, I'll do the research and get you the link. That's not something I'm going to be able to do in the middle of live stream, but if I see a comment on YouTube or an email, I can definitely link you to where you need to be. Because if I don't know the answer, I'm the kind of person that's like, hey man, truthfully, I don't have that information, but here's where I think you might be able to find something. Just because it's not really helpful to tell somebody no, and not really, and just kind of stop there, in my opinion. So I picked up some of this stuff, and now we just need to secure it, because I want to take this as an outpost. I was just raiding because that's Gage's main thing, but his backpack is not so big that he can take everything all the time. An update that I would like to see for State of Decay would be a 12-pack. I know it would have to be heavy, but like, would you guys be willing to have your character wear a 10-pound backpack that's only 2 pounds heavier than the 8-pound if they gave you 4 extra slots? So my proposal is our biggest backpack in-game, 8 pounds. Well, you can get a 7.5 8-slot backpack. My proposal would be a 10-pound backpack that has 12 slots. Would you guys do it? Would you guys say that's fair? Benjamin says that's really heavy. But my thing is, like, for one character, would you be willing to take the 4 slots for the 10-pound? For me, with the way I structure my community, Gage would definitely make that swap for 4 slots. Now, you're not going to trick me into taking a 10-pound backpack for 10 slots. 2 extra slots are not going to, like, do it for me. It's going to have to be... Yeah, it would have to be a 12-slot backpack for 10 pounds. Yes, it would. I'm not talking about changing pockets. I'm talking about I keep my pockets the way they are with the 4 pockets, and you give me a 12-slot backpack. You just give it to me. That would be my proposal. Gage, you're going to make room for that, buddy. Why? Because there's now a locker right here that you can just discard the unwanted materials. And we found a ruck of ammo, which I usually have a hard time finding rucks of ammo. We don't need it right now, but rather have it and not need it at the moment than not be able to find one. But yeah, crafters, that would be my question. Would you guys do a 10-pound 12-slot backpack? 4 slots for that extra weight. At the same point, I would ask, would you do a ultra light, right, where it weighs nothing, not even 0.1, and it does come in a 4-pack? Or do you think that the ultra light weighing 0.1 with a 6 slot is sufficient? I think that the heavier backpack with the more slots would be way more effective than like a nothing weight backpack, like a mesh backpack that only holds 4 things. But that's just my opinion. If you guys are unaware in the game right now, there's a few styles of backpacks. There's 8s that come in 2 flavors. We got a 7.5 pound 8 that are like special backpacks that you could find through like hearts and stuff. And then there is an 8-pound, 8-slot backpack that you can find through hearts and stuff and general exploration. And then there are 8s that are 12 pounds currently. That's an 8-pound backpack. So, like, they don't mind giving you a heavier backpack. The puffy backpacks that the 8s run in, if I find one, I'll show you, is there's a 12-pound backpack that's an 8. I think that's crazy. Then you have your 7s. And your 7s are, like, ultra special. I believe they're 1 pound. Because 7s don't really naturally occur in the game. The 7 backpacks, I believe, all come from the bounty trader guy, and you can do missions for them. And I believe that's actually what Gage has on. Yeah, he has one of the special backpacks. He has the trifecta pack, day pack backpack, which is 1 pound, 7 slots, just because I found it more efficient to lose 1 slot from my backpack and only have 1 pound of weight applied to my character than having at minimum a 7.5 pound weight for 1 extra slot. So, like, I'm basically trading 6.5 pounds of weight for 1 slot. And to me, I was like, I could lose the 1 slot because Gage has 4 pockets. So technically, I'm not even losing the slot, because just take one of the pockets, move it to the bottom, and then I've got 3 pockets when a standard character is a 2-pocket character. So that's how I justified it, but that's the 7s. And you have 6s, and 6s come in 2 flavors. The ultralight backpack, which weighs 0.1, and the regular standard, which I think is a 4-pound bag for 6 slots. Hashtag I haven't played this game in a while and still can remember my backpack sizes. What's that tell you about how much I've played this game, crafters? For a moment, this game was my obsession, so I do know quite a bit of the details. So now if we check my community screen, we can see that there is a pool on my ammo, but I've now answered it. Now, when I upgraded the still, I didn't know I was going to incur another material cost, so now I need him to go back out and find me a material trade post. But he did the first step, so now our watchtower is paid for, and we don't have to worry about that. The next thing I was wanting to do was show you the still. This is something you can craft in a small slot. I think it has to be a small outdoor slot. I don't have a slot available at the moment to show you. I'm not going to rip anything out, but I believe it can't be indoor. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. If it can be indoor, let me know. Because it doesn't say on the card. It just says the requirements are knowledge of chemistry, like to run this bad boy. I know you have to have chemistry to run it. So this is a still tier 2, and your options are as follows. You can convert food, your food resource, into fuel, and it will take 2 food and turn it into 2 fuel, and you just need knowledge of chemistry, 10 minutes, and 1 labor for that transaction. Transaction 2 is that you can convert food to ethanol. It will give you 5 jugs of ethanol for 2 units of food, 1 labor, and 10 minutes. And again, you need the chemistry knowledge to be able to do this transaction. Next up, you can convert ethanol to whiskey. It will make 3 jugs of homemade whiskey for 5 ethanol, 1 labor, 13 minutes and 20 seconds. But homemade whiskey sells for a profit. And next up, my favorite option is to brew craft beer. You will get 4 6-packs of fresh craft beer for 2 food, 1 labor, and 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes, if you have the food to support this, through whether a garden or whether you're going out and getting rucks, you can make 4 6-packs of fresh craft beer to go out and sell. And my trader loves using this still in conjunction with the trade depot to call in a trader after I've made a bunch of beer and just slam them with beer. And basically, for the cost of food, bring in a bunch of influence all at once. But I think I run it 3 or 4 times, so I have like 12 to 16 packs of fresh beer before I bring the trader in, because it costs you money to bring the trader in. So I want to be ready to have that fee and have all my ducks in a row to sell them the fresh craft beer. Before I wouldn't just do it for like one round, essentially. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell them, go ahead and spend that 2 food, 10 minutes. Somebody get over there, brew the beer. And oh, I did forget to mention, this is still at tier 2. It does cost you 1 material per day, but you do get a 3 morale bonus for having it at your location. So I'm getting some passive morale just from having this still. I don't know if it's because of the functionality of the still that they give you the morale bonus. Like your community is like, hey, we really like having it. Or if, oh, it's from purified drinking water. So apparently you're able to take the nasty lake water around you, or however you're doing it, and because it like makes their drinking water safe, they're like, hey, we really like having this still. I don't think that's Hannah's reason, but that's a reason for sure. I did notice that there is a Dewey's Hardware suitably nearby that we could go out and secure. And Hannah, you don't get a lot of play, so I'm going to let you go do it. She's going to leave the base for once, and before everybody goes, but that's your trader. And trust me, Hannah's geared up to take care of herself. She has swordplay, gunslinging, resourcefulness, and backpacking, so my girl can kind of take care of herself. In most scenarios, I'd say Hannah's got it. I wouldn't 1v1 a Juggernaut, but I'd say in like 90% of scenarios, I'm not even concerned about Hannah being out and about. There's a feral up there. That doesn't concern me. The Juggernaut north of it, tiny bit concerning, but not to the point where I'm not going to do it. I know previously on the channel we've talked about making every outpost count and not grouping up too many outposts in one location. But for me, I'm just trying to get my community quickly settled on this map, get them what they need, get them happy, and then move on. This is not going to be our permanent map, so this round at least. So if we choose this map, I'll make better selections as far as where to stick my outposts and everything. But as a map, we're not going to 100% raid. We're just going to be here until I decide I don't like looking at it anymore. I'm not going to worry about it as much. We're just going to come in here, get the secure quickly, and then she's going to swipe her invisible card for 150. And now we have enough materials coming in to cover our still, because that's going to be important to Hannah. She's not going to want the still to be unpaid for, because then we're not operating efficiently.
I don't know why we couldn't be better neighbors, but it doesn't matter now. We're leaving.
Well, we couldn't be better neighbors because you weren't close to me. No, we shouldn't have helped out Hannah. If they're not close to us, that's not happening. This is a food outpost, so I'm gonna grab a bag from here.
Seriously, this is it?
You gotta. I forgot to dump you out, but is there a bag here? Come on, there's gotta be a ruck here. There we go. I was about to say. You're gonna tell me there's no ruck in here.
Too loud.
Nice. Make all the noise, Hannah. All of it. Beautiful job, Hannah. Round of applause in the chat for Hannah. Making all of the noise we're ever gonna need. She truthfully doesn't carry any of this stuff. So we'll clear her down. Get the bag in the Jeep. Not something I need right now, but since I spent one, might as well take the opportunity to reclaim a bag. Bag for bag, basically. I told you she could handle herself. And then we're going to go back home. How are we doing on our timer? About another 10 minutes. Okay, cool. I'm sure we could find something to do for 10 minutes. I think since I'm using my Jeep right now, I'm just going to pull it up out here. And then we could just... Sometimes I do that with the vehicles I'm using on this map. If I use this base, I just pull it up out there. And then I don't have to run. I could just go in and out my front door easily. Alligator, I know we gotta take out the play cards, but sometimes we need to take just a breath. So I guess with my 10 minutes, I can explain like how we got to where we are real fast. Like Hannah, for instance, I have her set up as a trader. For me, the two most important skills for a trader would be have backpacking and resourcefulness for the four pocket setup, so that she can bring a lot of items to sell at once. I also gave her swordplay and gunslinging so that if zombies are involved in the situation, she can annihilate them and get back to doing what she really needs to do. The decision to teach her lycanology came from the fact that having her as our main leader means that we'll pretty much always keep her in the company. So having her always in the company means that we're going to have an infirmary, and because we're going to have an infirmary, we're going to have an infirmary cost. So I thought, if she's always going to be here, why not pay the infirmary cost that will always be here with Hannah? And that's how we ended up choosing lycanology and her skills. I hope that helps a little bit as far as we got here with her. Moving on to her first lieutenant, Mr. Farhat, wherever he is now. When I pulled him, he didn't have learned to cook or physically trained. He was a security guard and a blood plague survivor. I took a look at his kit, realized he was going to bring in 15 max health, and I said, how can we capitalize on a blood plague survivor with 15 max community health? Management and I took a long and hard think about it, and we decided his best setup would be as a stealthy powerhouse. Now, hear me out before you guys are like, stealthy and powerhouse don't really go together. Yes. The reason for stealth powerhouse is as the difficulty increases, he can use the stealth to get in and out of locations easily to do what he needs to do to handle his objective. Whereas he can use the powerhouse's main ability to do power hits against a heart, which do max damage for melee weapons, or heavy weapons. As for close combat and gunslinging, I thought both of those echoed Warlord as a title, and so that's what I gave him. When it came to cooking, a lot of people are like, why did you give Farhat cooking? He is a beast at fighting. Why didn't you give him chemistry? Why didn't you give him, auto mechanics melee weapon crafting? The reason we gave Farhat cooking is because his hero bonus provides 15 health to the community. If you guys don't know, if you give a survivor cooking and specialize it in nutrition, they get a bonus of 10 to their stamina, to the community's stamina and health. So technically, Farhat's card reads as bringing in 30 or 25 health, max health, and 10 max stamina. That's 25 max health and 10 max stamina, just him by himself. And I thought that that would amplify his hero bonus the best by bringing in another 10 health and some stamina, just making him like kind of an ultimate type character. Next up would be one of our other lieutenants. I found Beeper. He brought in hero plan, meal plan, which I understand a lot of people said cooking, meal plan, that's kind of what maxed it out. But that's not how we ended up there. We ended up with a former model who takes power naps and loves animals. That was Beeper when we got Beeper. And we got Beeper, I think management mainly took him because he didn't use a bed and he had a max stamina bonus. And at the time, we were unsure about meal plan, but the not using a bed thing was like the master of the universe. Being a sheriff, I decided that he's going to do missions, therefore marathon. And in doing those missions, he's going to scout. So scouting was the prime thing. That's the first two. During his missions, gunslinging is like his prime operative. I just thought that would really help during missions. Sometimes people turn hostile and try to hurt you. Other times you're put in a situation with a lot of zombies, so gunslinging made sense. And close combat also made sense because he can really take care of himself and physically handle the situations he's being flung into through the missions. Truth be told, the mechanics came because I needed a mechanic. Management took one look at the name Beeper. It was like, beep, beep, car. And so that's where Beeper got his mechanics from, was management thinking, beep, beep, car. So, I mean, it doesn't all have to be strategy, guys. Sometimes it just brain power. Next up, we had Gage, the third and final lieutenant. When we got him, he was a green thumb who lived on pasta and came with gardening. He eats less. He has meal plan. That's how we wanted him. We got the lives on pasta with meal plan, and that was like the ultimate card for me. And the fact that he had gardening, I was like, ooh, gardening's kind of weak. But now that I've built agriculture, I see that he brings in a food per day. One food, every day card, no exceptions. Not the best thing, but the way I built him was I gave him backpacking resourcefulness because he's the main scavenger, so that made sense. More pockets to put things in. And then while he's scavenging, I gave him a combination of sharpshooting and close combat so that he can stay quiet and take out zombies from a distance. Or if they dogpile him, he can have the option to take them out quickly. Alright. That kind of just leads into the rest of the characters. So we'll just start at the beginning with Kakoa. Kakoa came to us, and he was a heavy hitter with blood plague survivor. He hadn't learned chemistry or been trained at shooting. He was just another blood plague survivor with a 15 health bonus. So I said, Farhat 2.0, here we go. And I started building him. As I was building him, I realized I didn't want another powerhouse. But I did want stealth. So the first thing I built on him was the stealth mechanic, because I said he's still a warlord. Stealth on the higher levels will still do him solid, so I built stealth up in him. Then I said he's a warlord, therefore he needs gunslinging, and that was my next thing. I haven't fixed his endurance yet, but when I do, like I said, I'm going to give him swordplay. It's just a matter of getting the book and giving it to him. And as for the reason he has marathon, he's our sniper, and therefore I felt like him being kitted out as light as possible would make sense, because snipers are light, agile creatures who move from spot to spot, and so that's why he got marathon, not powerhouse, or not any of the other specialties that come with the top skill, cardio. As for how he ended up with munitions, I thought that max ammo storage screamed warlord, so I wanted to give it to a warlord, and he just ended up with it. Next up, we got Alligator. She came in with all of these traits. I haven't given her a single one. She way sorter, into fly fishing, and empathetic. She had the 5th skill of fishing already from into fly fishing, and she has the 2-bed thing on her own. So we built her as a scout. First skill I gave her was scouting, just because scout equals scouting. Next, I thought that my scout should have marathon for mobility purposes, and sharpshooting for a similar reason to why Kakoa has sharpshooting. That way she can take out the zombies from a high up place and not necessarily have them in her face. I would like to change her endurance eventually to another skill, probably swordplay, just because I don't really want her fighting too often in a close combat style. Next up would be Meadow. She was one of the last ones I pulled, and being a secondary builder, I wasn't sure how I wanted to build her initially. Initially, she came in with stamp collector and always wanted to camp and 2 beds. And I said, management, throw this girl away. I don't want her. She's a weird builder. I could do better. I could get like another stamina bonus or something. And management said, no, you see what we got here? We got 2 beds. And I said, management, like, can you stop talking to me? Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care that she has 2 beds. I want another hero bonus. Reroll. And management said, hear me out. We give her sleep psychology, and we call her a walking barracks. And I was like, what do you mean, a walking barracks? And she said, she has outdoor living. That's 2 beds. You give her sleep psychology, that's 4 morale for the community and another 2 beds. What's that equal? I was like, oh my gosh, she's a walking barracks. Therefore, Meadow was born to first and foremost be a walking barracks. She handles 4 beds for my community, and in short, is like a whole building by herself. And when she gets paired with my fisherman, then it's like an upgraded barracks, and that's a whole nother level. But I decided that her ability would be collecting either specific items or specific attributes just because it went along with the builder theme, and I built her accordingly. I gave her marathon so she can run forever and be a runner and collect things. I gave her scouting so that along her path she could see enemies clearly and know that they're there and avoid them. I gave her close combat in case she got overwhelmed, and gunslinging so that she could absolutely just go ham if she needed to, because I want her to be safe on her travels. Lastly, we have our last warlord, Victoria. She came in with dosage control, blade collector, and nurse. She came in with a skill of medicine. At first, I just wanted her for dosage control, and I didn't really care how I built her. But as I thought about it, I realized, for me, the ultimate build for her goes like this. She's the nurse, which means she stays at the base most of the time. But she has the ability to go out and deal with infestations. What do I need to deal with infestations? I need Marathon. Why do I need Marathon? Because I'm going to run her at a very light weight, and sprinting for free is something that's very helpful when you have a bunch of zombies and screamers running at your face. Because you can pretty much just be super mobile the entire time. Next, I needed stealth, because I want to be able to sneak up on them without them hearing me coming, to get like an early Molotov off and try to do as much destruction on the infestation before the screamers are alerted and the zombies are alerted that, like, hey, there's a person here. Next, I chose swordplay because in the event that the zombies and the screamers are notified of Victoria being there, I want her to absolutely, sushi ham their faces. Alright? She does have weapons handling that will eventually be converted to gunslinging. We're just waiting on a book. But that's where the other 3 skills came from. Obviously, she already had medicine, and I looked at both paths, and I just said, pathology allows her to use her abilities of eventually gunslinging and swordplay in a way that she can collect more samples effectively, and as difficulty goes up, pathology is really going to help the community as a whole. So that is all of my characters, how we picked what they're doing, why they're doing it. It has been 76 minutes. Hopefully the thing is ready. It is beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we're on Hannah, and we're going to make our final call.
Someone needs help.
Hey, I just
Come on, Hannah.
load of cool stuff.
Come on, Hannah. Let's get that call.
How much we've already accomplished.
I paid. We
Anyone
skipped
out
the
there?
call and we went to the
Is this thing on?
straight to the board, so
stand
we're
to
just gonna
hear
go
a
by
friendly
type
voice right now.
filter. I know it's a warlord I'm looking for,
Around Fanny local
and I know that it's Taylor. Taylor's our last piece of the puzzle. Let's get her in here.
We have a volunteer.
Alright, that's our 9th and final member. We're ending the stream with her. And since I kind of went through everybody else, might as well tell you about Taylor while she's here. Taylor's our 4th and final warlord. Her purpose might not seem clear, but it's to take out hostile enclaves and only to eliminate hostile enclaves. They're a rarity, but they do come. So sometimes Taylor has something to do, sometimes she gets to sleep and eat. That's just how it works. But no one else has to deal with it. She's our last meal plan, meaning that we have 75% meal plan once she's all the way cranked up. She came in as a security guard who does heavy lifting and eats like a bird. So she eats 50% less food than a normal character. Already before we apply meal plan, she personally has taken it upon herself to not eat my food. I taught her craftsmanship because I wanted construction on someone, and she was like one of the last people that didn't have something, so I gave it to her. The reason she's set up the way she is as a warlord is because dealing with hostile enclaves, we need a decent gun. That means we need storage for the ammo, and we need the ability to carry more weight. Backpacking has a 30 at full max, has a 30 max carrying capacity buff that allows her to carry heavier weaponry to be able to deal with the nonsense. And with backpacking and resourcefulness, that's 2 extra pocket slots for ammo that she can use to eliminate the hostile enclaves. I've given her swordplay so that she could be very aggressive in their face, and gunslinging so that she could be very aggressive from a distance. Again, she ended up with construction just because I wanted somebody that had construction, because at full max, construction gives you an additional labor. So my community at 9 characters functions with 10 labor, which doesn't sound like a lot until you're trying to build a base quickly and get everything modded. So, in short, that's my 9. This is the asylum. These are the people that are gonna rocket socket robots, or whatever it is, and they're the people that are gonna turn the apocalypse into just a memory. Oh, she has my special books. Okay. I was wondering who had it. She also has a ton of parts and weapons remain stacks. So before I leave, I'm gonna make sure to get at least one of them started. Because if you guys don't know, if you start something and don't finish it, and it's like a time thing, it will still be going when you come back in at whatever time you logged out. So if I log out at 3:15, it will be at 3:15 when I come back in. Same thing that I'm going to start another round of craft beer right before I leave, so when I log in, it can be processing while I'm playing. Alright, crafters, that's the asylum. These are my characters. I hope the explanation at least let you get to know them a little bit better. Next time I'll go through their loadouts one by one and tell you their position and why they have that loadout. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for participating. I hope you guys are staying safe. If it's cold where you are, I hope you're bundling up. If it's warm where you are, I hope you're cooling down. Keep on crafting, crafters. Kitty Craft out.